Welcome, dear viewers, to a new episode of The Untold, where we're going to shed the lights on a very great journey for all of our guests. And of course, in today's episode, it's going to be a very catchy, interesting episode, talking more about Handpan through our guests. So hopefully everyone is really excited and going to really enjoy watching us today. We're really happy to welcome with us in today's episode of The Untold our guest Shadmehr. He is a handpan player and also known as
UC.
UC.
Yes.
So really happy to have you here, and tell us more about you and yourself at the beginning.
Yes. Firstly, thank you for your invite. About my background, I started music with the drums when I was 14, and after 2 years, when I was 16, I started handpan and piano. Yeah, this is my background.
Yes, so you've been into music for a very long time. Choosing music is something very important. Like people would say, always try different instruments so you know which one is, let's say, connected to your soul. Because as much as you're talented in music and in playing different instruments, there is always that kind of connection between you and a certain, let's say, music. So how did you end up finding yourself with the handpan?
Firstly, the things it's very helpful for me. It's the drums because the technique I know in the drums, the
Right.
rhythm, the rudiment, the value of note, and this thing is very helped me on the handpan, and also the things I know from the piano music theory skill. So it's very helpful. So the things I do in the handpan is combined of together
Yes.
in drums and piano. So
Piano.
it's mix
Yeah.
of that. Yeah.
So tell us about your family. Like, do you have one of your family member into music? Are they musician, or you were the first, let's say, one of a kind in your family?
Yeah, we have a musician, but they are not very professional
Yes.
musician. But of course, they played. My uncle play guitar, they play violin. My cousin play piano. So we have in the family,
Yeah.
they play different instruments.
So, as a parent, they're always into choosing, let's say, soft instruments, the one that doesn't make that very huge sound. So, when you told them that you want the drums, like, how was their reaction? Were they happy,
Yeah,
terrified?
yeah. People always ask me like, you play handpan, but why you are in the metal band also play metal in
Yeah.
the drums? So it's depend of mode of me. Like sometimes my mode is I want to play something heavy metal, but sometimes I want to meditate with the like handpan. And
Yes. So talking about handpan, especially if we're talking about here in Kuwait, it's becoming popular. People are wanting to know more about the instrument, how does it play, can I purchase it, and so on. But before we head towards all of these details, I want to know from you yourself. Tell us about the background of handpan. Like, was it something that's found very long time ago? If we're talking about the history of handpan.
yeah, handpan it's founded in the 2000 in the Switzerland. So it's very useful for meditation, sound healing, and it's very fun in instrument, and it's very easier than like the drums and piano. So always that's why people love it because it's very easy to learn and
Yes.
easy to play. So that's
Yes.
why.
So it's very interesting to see such a great instrument. Like a person who sees it will think this is more of an armor, that you always, let's say, carry
Yeah.
in a way in fights and so. But to see it that it actually presents sounds, which is something very interesting. Like, what is it actually made of? Like, is it all from a certain, let's say, metal or a specific, let's say, element?
Yeah, it's made of steel, but we
Steel.
have different. Like we have the stainless steel, nitride steel, amber steel. Like this one is stainless steel,
Stainless.
but this model customized one made for amber steel.
Okay.
Amber steel, the high material ever made for the handpan.
Okay, so this, let's say, metal is actually different when it also comes to, let's say, producing the sound, or it's only because of the cost of the material as well?
Yeah, it's different on the soft touching and then different of the sound. Yeah, like the nitride, when you play nitride, the sound is very clear, better for recording. But stainless steel and amber steel have more sustain, so better for meditation, playing outside on the nature. So yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about the story when you found this instrument. When did you discover handpan, and how did you find yourself with this instrument?
Yeah, I told you when I was 16, I went to the few classes just to know the skills and how to touch handpan. And after, with the things I know, music theory and the things rudiment and these things I know, I try to learn handpan with myself. But after that, I attend to the master classes of the famous handpan player like Malti Martin, Sam Maher, and these things.
Yeah, which is really
Yeah.
interesting. So, having that said, if we're talking about music notes, are they the same when it comes into playing with a handpan and different instrument, or does it go with a different tone, let's say category?
It's very good question actually. Of course, in the music we have a music note like do re mi fa sol la si or in the English, but for the handpan, still we don't have the formal sheet music. So in on the drums we have, on the piano we have, but on the handpan mostly we go with the number. This is the very popular version. They go in the Europe, US, every country. Yeah, I saw like in the special country, they build like they create the book for the handpan, but only under that country they go with that way.
Okay, okay.
So mostly in the Europe, US, all like Malti Martin, Sam Maher, all famous artists. If you go to their master classes, they teach you with the numbers, and yeah, and this
Which
is
is really quite interesting, you know.
yes,
Having that said, of course, at the beginning, when a person wants to learn a such instrument and you're telling it goes with number, people would always feel, let's say, confused, like which number we go and follow, and especially that it actually looks, let's say, similar and the same for a person who sees this for the first time. It's more of a, let's say, a rounded shape instrument with some round holes in it, and people won't understand the difference. So maybe you would like to tell us about such, let's say, impression when a person sees this instrument and want to learn about it.
yeah.
Like, do they feel really confused about it?
No, actually, they love this method with the number because it's make for them it's very easy. And in my method, I work like with there is one application exactly they make music sheet but with the numbers.
Yes.
So with this method now for my students, it's make very easy, and that's way like after 8, 10 session, 12 session, they can play a very hard song, and after the end of session always they can create their own song with the music theory I teach them.
Yes. So being let's say, an instructor, and especially with music and with the beautiful handpan, especially if it's new in the country, it's always challenging to, let's say, tell them to come and join and to see such a great, let's say, instrument. So tell us about the experience so far, the feedback that you have got during your time teaching this instrument.
Yeah, people always love handpan in the different country. So also in the Kuwait, they love handpan, and it's very amazing things. I think because it's easy and it's the sound is very amazing, and is very good for the sound healing. So that's why they love handpan, and I'm here just to help them to
Yes.
make it easier for them.
Indeed. And you know, they always say music has a very great impact on our self, and especially our souls, because as you just said, it's a very way to calm someone down and to always feel relaxed. And especially if you're going through a lot in your life, one of the easiest thing is to immediately catch to a certain music, listen to a music, and then all of your mood will be different and change. So how effective is this, let's say, instrument when it comes into feeling calm and feeling relaxed, and so many things that could actually follow with such great instrument?
Yeah, and actually it's depend of the also models and scale. Like if I play the normal one, the D chord 9 notes, it's very good for the beginner. But if you want exactly for sound healing, like the customized one, like the E Amara 20, like this one or another one, F sharp low pygmy 21 notes, this one exactly made for the sound healing. Now if I play this one and this one, you can see the difference of the sound. It's very this one good for like sound healing and meditation. So that's why that one I use for like adding music, add handpan
Yes.
on the electronic music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen you, me personally, see you so through social media, and I've seen you mixing some music with the handband, which is something very nice
yeah,
and very beautiful. Yet you make it really so easy, you know, when you add these touches. So tell us about that experience. Today we say that social media is very important for a person to know the artist, to know, let's say, and learn about certain music. So tell us about that experience.
yeah. Actually, I have always this idea to add handpan on the electronic music, like maybe about 2 years, 3 years. So when I make it, I receive very good feedback, and it was very amazing for me. Actually, social media very helpful for a person like me because I'm not the person like talk too much to people, having connections, something like this. I just feel amazing to create my music and post it on social media. And yeah, if someone interested, they contact me for performing or like something like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is something very beautiful, and it's a very great way to connect everyone all together. As they say, music is one of the great ways to always, let's say, create that kind of bond, and also is more of an icebreaker. You know, once you enter a place and you listen to the music, you feel connected to it in a way. So, having that said, talking with people and having this connection between you as a teacher for such a great instrument, and also the ones who are learning from you today, how do you find this connection? Like, are they easygoing when it comes into learning? Because they always want to learn fast. It's always something easy, and they are very curious about it. So, how do you feel so far when it comes into you and your students?
yeah. Actually, my method in on the handpan, I very teach them fastly. It's depend of the instrument. Like if someone come and ask me for teaching drums, I'm not suggest them to learn drums fastly because drums is very like different instruments. Take 3 years, 4 years to will be very great. But in the handpan, after few months you play, you can say I'm handpan player because it's very easy and fun instrument, you know. And yeah, always my student mostly love this method, and because I make it easier for them. And my method in the each science, I will teach them different technique and different skills and these things.
So, talking about techniques and scale, like we can see now on this great instrument on that's being displayed, there are specific, let's say, notes and specific numbers. Like for the beginners, like how many numbers does this instrument has?
9 notes. Nine
Nine
notes is
notes.
enough for the beginners. After, if you want, if they want, sorry, customize, they can like have the 20 notes, 21 notes, or 15 notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends, of course, at the beginning,
Yeah.
and of course, until you become a professional, and also on your taste. Like if you want to only have the nine notes, or
Yeah,
it's up to
and
you.
we have different scale also in the handpan. It's not like the piano or violin, like with the one scale we can play all music. No, like this one D minor, this one A amara. We have different, very different. We have
Right.
also Hijaz. The
Okay.
one the sound is very like the
Wow.
Middle East
We're going to
sounds.
talk more about them in
Yeah.
all of the details. But, dear viewers, we're going to head to our first break in today's episode, and then we'll be back. Amazing. It's really beautiful. But before you give it, can you give it to me
Yeah,
here?
sure.
Well, I wanna try because I can see you're doing it very, let's say, in a way that makes it really relaxing. But just to see and make for the audience, like, wow.
Oh, okay.
It's really amusing and it's very nice. And talking more about it in specific details, like especially for the audience, like it's not really heavy. Like once you see it, you feel it's really heavy,
Yes.
but sound is really very
Yeah.
beautiful. I'm very sorry.
You
Maybe
should.
I'm
It should.
I'm making the
No, no,
notes
I can't.
difficult for
No,
you.
no. You should touch with the one finger with this area.
Yes,
Yeah, at the edge of the dimple. The,
here,
no, dimple is mean the
this one.
no the circle. Yeah,
Yeah,
but the inside.
inside.
Yeah,
Inside. You have
yeah.
to touch
But
it
no, no,
inside.
no. We touch at the edge of that.
The edge.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, like
Edge of
this.
the small circle. So it's called a dimple. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So, as for a new beginner, let's say a person who wants to learn on the instrument, as you said, this is for more advanced, but this one is for, let's say, the ones who are wanting to learn nine, let's say, notes. I mean, even when I'm talking, it's like there is echo, ding, ding.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's very beautiful. But having that said, how do you see today learners? Like, do they learn fast? Like for me now, you're telling me just to hit the edge of the
Yeah,
dimple.
we should.
I look at your face. I feel like you're like I'm missing something.
No, no, no. You should have a very soft touch,
Mhm.
and when you hit it, your hand should be after that go up, and your hand should be relaxed. Do you know
Mhm.
when you touch it like this,
Yeah.
and your finger should go up, and you don't need to touch it very hard,
Mhm.
because if you touch it very hard, in the handpan will be out of tune, like, and yeah, so
To
very.
honest, it's
But
difficult.
you ask me about the how is like
Mm.
hard or easy.
Mm-hmm.
Normally in my workshop, in the 1 hour,
Yes.
we learn the one like very amazing melody, but only in the 1 hour they can play it.
Wow.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
melody, one like amazing melody,
Yes.
something.
I mean, I'm a very difficult student. Like when you are telling me what to do, I'm like immediately trying to do it at the same time. So we have different students today. We have the one who are always we know everything, and then we have the ones who are very scared of making mistakes, and then we have the normal ones that they immediately listen and they do it. So of course, when it comes into teaching such instrument, like what is the number of students you have in the class? Like what is a good number for you, let's say?
Like,
Like, do you start with 5 to 10 students, or it's one-to-one session?
yeah, I have both. Like my private class is 1 to 1, but
Mhm.
my workshop is 5 person for the each session. But
Okay.
normally, when I make workshop, I have different sessions. So maybe around 20 people at the day they come.
Yes.
Uh,
So it's 5 students in one session
per session,
per
yeah.
session. Yes. And with what we just discussed and talked, there are different type of students. So
Yes.
when you mix them all together, like how do you manage to
Yeah.
work with them?
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. It's little hard, but because the songs I teach them, actually it's easy. It's not
Yes.
very hard. And the one like they have talented, they know. So after that, they ask for like private class. They want to continue.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So of course it depends in the end on each individual learner by themselves and how they could, let's say, go on when it comes into developing themselves. So when we want to mix music with the handpan, like does it go normally, or you have to be, let's say, with a specific, let's say, entrance and the feeling, like when I saw you listening to the music, I mean, you were singing, you were listening to the tone, and then you entered with the handpan. Like, how does it work if I want to mix music all together?
yeah, for that one, I should little talk like about the music theory. Like we found the chord, like we know the scale, we do
Mm.
arpeggio, we know the rhythm and rudiment and how to create the pattern. So with all of this, you can like create the amazing music.
Yeah. So they always say that music affects us in a way. If you listen to heavy metal music, they always say you are angry, temper, always in a rush. If you listen to calm music, then you are a calm person and you like, especially if you use different, let's say, instrument that is really calm and soothing. So from you, you use, let's say, the drums which reflects, let's say, that kind of intensity.
Yes.
And then you use also a handpan, which is really calming. So does it really, is it really true that it really
Because
affects and reflects
actually
the
I feel like
person?
I feel like heavy metal also emotional.
Yes.
So when I was to tell my emotion, but with the shouting, like with screaming,
Yes.
so it's heavy metal. So that one also is very emotional. And heavy metal, in my opinion, is very emotional, not something angry
Yes,
or like
yes.
this. And this one handpan also emotional, but it's
Yes.
little different.
Well, I
Yeah.
really like what you just said, is because people always see heavy metal in a way that it's always for anger, for stuff like that. But you're saying it's emotional, which, let's say, shed the light on different kind of, let's say, feeling people wouldn't consider thinking about, which is also something very beautiful as well. I mean, it's very important to always listen to the music that really lets you get everything out of your system. Because if you keep everything inside, you will reach to a point that you're going to, let's say, have that rage and anger and being presented. So it's always better to relax and get everything out of the system, right?
It's depend of the mood,
Yeah.
because first I start drums because like I want to how I can say, like when I was angry, I play drums.
Yes.
Okay, when I feel comfortable, I want to relax, I play handpan. So
Yes.
it's different. When you angry, you can't play handpan because if you hit hard, it will be out of tune.
Right,
You
right.
should go like play drums
Yes.
if you can. Yeah,
So,
something.
one of the things that we always hear is music has to be played by talent. If you have talent, that means you can do whatever you want. So, having that said, do you believe that playing music or entering this field should consider only talent, or it could be, let's say, taught? Like sometimes you can teach a person, but there's always that talent missing, you know?
Of course, talent is very important, but no, not as always. Like we have like someone, he or she practice every day, 1 hour, every day 1 hour, but some talent person don't practice. So of course, the first person will be successful more than the second person.
Yes.
But of course, talent also very important. Talent important for like composition, for music producing, like for the improvising, for the songs I create here or in the another instrument piano. But about the that one you told me, like mostly like musician because they practice every day, so they don't need also to have talent because we can like cover the music without any talent. Just we need to hard work, hard work, hard work.
Yes.
You know.
So one of the beautiful thing is also to have a hobby, and when you have a hobby, it's more of creating your own identity. Some people use their hobby for another income, for let's say business and stuff like that. So having that said, do you believe that this instrument today, being here in Kuwait and presenting it, could also increase that kind of, let's say, business in a way that people could actually use it and create their own, let's say, rhythm and band when it comes into that?
Yes, I believe it. That's why I really try and for that to introduce to people about the magic of the handpan because it's very fun in instrument. You have it at the home, play like not every day, like once a week, twice a week for the fun. But you can play it after few session you come to the classes. But piano or violin, drum, it's very hard to
Yeah.
learn.
So, can a person take care of their instrument? Like each instrument has its own, let's say, ways and to preserve them and to keep them safe. And also there is, let's say, workshops or someone could, let's say, maintain that kind of damage if certain, God forbid, something happened to the instrument. So when we see the handpan, it's made of metal. So people would consider like, could it be damaged and how can I maintain it?
Yeah, it's a very good question. The one thing, the handpan, because it's made in steel, mostly in the hot country like the Kuwait, in the outside, if you put it in the outside, will be stained. But it's not effect of the sound, only it's effect of the like the color and look. For that, you can put oil every week, or if you play every day, after 2 3 days, or 3 4 days, just little put like the baby oil and with the special napkin, you should like little just put
You
it, yeah.
just clean and adjust
Yeah,
it, yes.
and about the damage, you should take care. You should have a good stand, good hard case or soft case.
Yes.
So it will be
I
very
mean,
helpful.
I'm a person that my phones always fall from my hand. So what could happen if, God forbid, the instrument fell down from the musician? And it could happen, let's say. Yeah.
Yes, if the instrument, that handpan, it's very good and good quality, mostly it will not happen because it's happened to me
Yes.
few months. Not this one, another handpan, it's fall down, but nothing happened of the out
Yes.
of tune and out of tune and
Yeah.
something
And
like
of
this.
course, in the end, you have to always preserve it with its own case and bag in order for you to
Yeah.
keep it safe and sound at home,
Yes.
out of the reach of kids.
Yes.
Yes.
No, actually,
Yeah.
I want to say this very cool an instrument for the kids. And mostly I see like the kids love the handpan and this instrument.
Yes.
And I try also they should like know about the handpan because I see they love it. They love
Yes.
handpan.
And as you just said, it's really calming and relaxing,
Yeah.
and the new generation need to be relaxed. They're always in a
Yes,
rush and
yes,
in a way.
yes,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Well, thank you very much for your time. It was
Thank you
really
so
a
much.
pleasure having you here, and I'm very sure even our audience did enjoy watching us together. So with that being said, dear viewers, we're going to head to our, let's say, wrap-up break, and then we'll be back.
Thank you so much.
And with that, dear viewers, we reached towards the end of today's episode. Hopefully, everyone did enjoy listening to the music. And as our guest just said, it's more of a relaxing music, easy to learn, and very, very exciting at the same time. With that, dear viewers, we hope that you enjoyed us. Join us again in different new episode of The Untold, and goodbye.